of AEW. Not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy. And he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel on the Nation Network. I am your host, Vince McSham, turning off my echoing second line here. Boom, there it goes. Good news is it didn't come through on the stream as an echo, but it does it on my headset. But now it's gone. It's good to go. And we are back for the 3rd day in a row. We're going to get all that free week out of this shit, I can tell you right now. But the theme is staying the same. Because right now, and if you've missed the last 2 episodes, it's all about the WWE and their image/branding crisis. So before we get into all of it, let's get ready to rumble. We are going to bring aboard my sidekick, my partner in crime, the one, the only, J-Rocks. Say hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay. I'm glad I got theme music now. That's great.
Yeah, you like that? Oons, oons, oons.
Yeah.
So, as has happened many times in the past, when we wrap up a WrestleChat, Jay and I will have a last-minute little chat and then kind of call it a night. And as we started doing that last night, made me realize, wow, we missed a pretty big chapter in the WWE's ongoing debacle of what a brand is supposed to do. I will share a story with you all. When I was working with the Mouse over at Disney and started moving up the ladder in the ranks in the management, they'd have different classes we would have to take and attend. One of them, I'll never forget, was all about your brand. And the way they came up with this was and it was really regarding the individual, not the company so much, but then it would tie into the company later. But we are each our own brand. And they put a bunch of different logos up on the screen. One of them was like Dairy Queen. Another one might have been McDonald's. And they're asking, what do you think of when you see these logos? And everybody's like, oh, food or ice cream and happy memories of things like that. Then they put up a picture of Enron. What do you think of when you see that? Corruption, theft. And they said, well, that's the brand logo. The brand is recognized based on performance. And so are we as individuals. You have your own brand. I have my own brand. And how you represent yourself to other people that you work with, interact with, determines whether when they see you, they think of Enron or if they think of, Friendly's ice cream. That said, the WWE's got some brand issues. First, you got Travis Scott. We covered him yesterday. I'm not going to get into it deep today, but if you missed yesterday, you should watch it. There's a link in that video. You should go watch that even more. And the only reason we're talking about Travis Scott on a wrestling show is because WWE keeps on trying to force him down our throats. Or probably more accurately, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who has a hard Johnson for him, which probably be about right. I could see Dwayne being at a Diddy party. Wouldn't surprise me. So what we started talking about afterwards about the whole branding idea, and it's like, I remember McDonald's not that long ago, about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years now. I think it was a summer thing, where their value meal was plastered with Cardi B. I'm like, you're supposed to be a family-friendly restaurant that's supposed to be kids' value meals and stuff, and you got this whore plastered all over everything. All she is a skanky whore. She's a trashy slut of a human being, and I'm not even sure if she qualifies. And then Jay aptly reminded me she's hosting SummerSlam. WWE, man, what in the bloody hell is wrong with you? Do you just look for the lowest common denominator on the bottom of the deepest barrel and say, hey, come on, be part of what we're doing? I mean, when you see Cardi B, honestly, Jay, first thought goes through your mind is what? After you get past big tits, then what?
Honestly, I can't stand her voice or her look or anything, so she does nothing for me. Especially her voice. Her voice turns me off bigger than shit because it's like that.
It's not hers.
Want to be New York, huh?
It's not hers. It's auto-tune.
Auto-tune. Well, I'm not even talking about her singing. I mean, just from the commercials they've done for SummerSlam, she's got that high-pitched voice, and I'm just like, I'd rather chew on tinfoil and run fingernails down chalkboards than hear her talk.
There's nothing about. First off, now we're talking 2 days in a row about the same basic thing. You look at Travis Scott, and now you look at this piece of crap. And even with Travis Scott, we delved into the Jenner whatever clan there, the Kardashian bullshit. How are these people amassing a following like they are? I mean, are there that many brain dead Americans? And I know they're not just American followers, but for the most part, I just don't understand what level has your life reached that you're following Travis Scott and you're following Cardi B and you're following a Kardashian watching that program. Man, there's like either you have zero self-respect or you've set such a low bar. I don't know. I'm just how these people have. I mean, at least with the Paul brothers, they do things. You know, Jake goes out there and actually gets in a boxing ring, rigs a fight. A couple of them might not have been rigged, but we know the last one was, so we'll go with that. But at least he got in there and threw some punches. You know, he drew a crowd. Well, he didn't draw the crowd. Tyson drew the crowd, but that, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And Logan's wrestling his ass off. I mean, it's one thing to talk the talk, but the boy walks the walk too. So, I mean, at least with them, all right. Try not to show any more dead Japanese guys, but all right. But as for this crap, now I'm going to guess a lot of you are like myself, and I'm Jay. How much have Cardi B's music have you ever actually listened to?
Very little. Just like I'll hear snippets of it and turn it as fast as I can. Because there's, like I said, there's nothing to her that makes me want to listen to her music or anything about her. And don't get me wrong, I like R&B, I like rap, but with those two, there's
neither.
Right. I mean, there's a lot. Literally after about 2003, there's nothing that ever came out that I give two shits about because they're either mumbling through everything or, like you said, they have to use auto-tune, and that's not real fucking music. If you can't carry a tune in a bucket, keep your fucking mouth shut. I do. I sing in the shower, and that's when nobody's home.
And then the shower stops working.
Yeah, exactly. So it's know your fucking limitations and shit. But when it comes to WWE and some of these people, granted, you know, I used to think like I guess the way I look at it is when they would bring a celebrity on in the past, it was a surprise because they didn't do it that fucking often. Now it's like
and they were actual celebrities.
Yeah. But now it's like every fucking show you've got to show 4 or 5 people in the fucking crowd. You got to have at least one person in the fucking ring or ring area. And I'm fucking over it. And it's not people who's even fucking relevant. I mean, not to a general wrestling audience anyways.
And I think that's part of the problem right there is they're going based on, okay, this person's got a lot of followers and it's a different demographic and we can maybe get them to watch our product and then be liking our product. I don't see a lot of those. This is not 1985 with the Rock and Wrestling Connection where it was the same fans.
Right.
You had Kiss, you had Dee Snider, you had Cyndi Lauper, and the same people that liked them liked wrestling. That ain't the case with this group. These people are not wrestling fans.
Right. And that's the thing is like, I'll look at it from a business point of view. And it's like, do I really want people who will listen to a guy at a concert, tell them, start a riot? Do I want them coming to my fucking shows and starting riots? Fuck off. No, I don't need your money that bad. But obviously, TKO and WWE has a different fucking opinion of it. And I'm just waiting for some shit to pop off one day in a crowd. And you talk about a backlash. If something like that would happen at a wrestling show, it would be all over the fucking news. I don't know how they would sweep that shit under the rug.
Well, it does happen at wrestling shows all the time. You got that guerrilla wrestling shit.
I'm talking about at a major stadium like that. If Travis Scott would have went into the ring and started saying the shit like he was saying on the show,
fuck security, come on in here and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But like I told you yesterday, wrestling fans ain't gonna give him they wouldn't follow him to the bathroom. He has no pull over a wrestling crowd because they're not Travis Scott fans.
Not a wrestling crowd, but if he starts pulling in his fans and they start coming to shows just because he's going to be on them, that's opening. I'm just saying, you're opening yourself up to that possibility. I've been to ECW. I went to ECW shows in the past. I went to Heatwave in Dayton. Yeah. Did we climb the barricades and get in the ring and crash that bitch? Absolutely. But nobody got fucking hurt. Nobody got killed. Nobody got trampled.
Not for a lack of effort.
There was a difference. There was a difference because we knew the limit. We knew we could cross the barricade. We knew we could get in the ring. But we weren't trying to kill each other to fucking do it.
Well, only thing I can really say is I try to be as objective as I can, even if it's something I know I'm just not going to agree with or I'm not going to see eye to eye with. Let me try and step outside of myself for a moment and play devil's advocate. And again, to what we were just mentioning earlier, I know enough about Cardi B to fill a thimble when it comes to anything that might resemble music, even mildly. I do know of some of her past behavior and the things that have made the news and that she's just a tramp. I mean, look at her, listen to her. She's a whore. And let's just assume that's all an act and she's really not. You play it so convincingly you are. You're not, if you were that good an actress, you'd be an actress.
Right.
So I think you're being genuine and I think you're a whore. That said, I want to be fair and, I've never heard a song or anything like that. So let me, she must have some great writing ability. She must be a hell of a songwriter and I'm sure she's a lyricist and, WWE songs. Is she going to sing this during the anthem? What's the plan? What's the plan? They have to blur out half the video. I mean, that in itself is just skank. It's just reeking of skank, but there's more.
Sweat and gushy. Beat it up, baby, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this cookie right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a giggle, I'm kinda wild. Look at my mouth, look at my thighs. It's wet, it's wet, come take a dive.
This pussy is wet. Come take a dive. I don't know how long she took to come up with all that. I mean, that must have been an all night long session of just trying to come up with lyrics. Look at my thighs. Look at this pussy so wet. Take a dive. I mean, wow, you are a true poet. We're probably off of Facebook or off YouTube right now just for playing that. I tried to keep it really short.
Right.
See if I can sneak in, but we'll see. I'm sure I'm going to get blasted on something for that. But again, you know, and there is such a thing as fair use out there, where as long as you're using it in some sort of a news type environment, that you're allowed to go up to 8 minutes worth of copyright content. But I ain't gonna fight. I don't get paid for this shit. Maybe if I start twerking my ass a little bit, I can make a few bucks. What do you think?
Maybe.
I'd be blurring my video too, believe me. Well, nobody needs to be seeing that.
Yeah, but you make the blur longer than it needs to be. That's what you do.
No, my blur needs to be long, baby.
I don't know. They've had musicians on in the past, but I don't know. The ones they've had on have respected the wrestling industry enough to not do that shit. You know?
I mean, when you look at these two individuals that we've been talking about, why did AEW not grab them? I mean, it's a good fit for AEW. And it wouldn't even offend anyone because nobody's watching it anyway. And if anyone needs to try and bring somebody in with a lot of viewers, oh, God knows.
That's why I said anymore, it's like anybody can say, right? Exactly. It just seems like anybody and their brother who's famous can say, yeah, I'm a wrestling fan, and they get their face on fucking TV on a show. It never used to be that way. And it annoys me.
He couldn't have put this shit on TV in the past. You imagine if Dick Clark was still alive doing American Bandstand today? And now, ladies and gentlemen, with her top 10 hit, Wet Pussy, Cardi B.
I understand wanting to make money for your company, but Jesus Christ, there's a limit. Have a little respect for yourself and your brand. That's what it comes down to.
I want to know where did the buck stop on
I mean, Jesus Christ, you let Mandy Rose go for a picture where she had herself covered by the titles and shit, but yet you're going to let Cardi B host. Are you fucking kidding me?
Actually, with Mandy, it was a video, and she was in a pool topless.
I know. I have.
And depending how the water rippled, you did or you didn't see a little something.
But what's the difference between that and what we just watched?
No, there's honestly. Now, granted, WWE is not going to show the video I just showed, but that's who you're putting. That's the person you're putting up there. And to your point, I mean, she's showing a whole lot worse shit than Mandy did. And by the way, Mandy could fucking wrestle and drew a crowd.
Fuck yeah, she could.
And if y'all weren't stupid, you'd have piggybacked off of some of that money because she left you and made a whole lot more money than she ever did with you.
Mm-hmm.
She made more in the first 3 months of being fired than she did 3 years in the WWE.
Yep.
So I guess you taught her a lesson, didn't you? Huh?
I hate double standards, and to me, that's a fucking double standard.
Oh, damn, whole fucking world's double standard. Are you kidding me? It's out of control shit right now. I'm just... Look, I know the WWE is not exactly, romper room, and it's not made for kids like it was back in the 90s. And we wouldn't want it to be because it was pretty shitty in the 90s until the late 90s.
Right, but you promote people like Jey Uso for the kids. You used to promote John Cena for the kids. You wanted it to be family friendly. You can't be family friendly when you've got your people on your shows like these two. You can't. I will not let my 16-year-old boys listen to any of that shit. They can go listen to Eminem. I like Eminem. But you're not listening to Cardi B. You're not listening to fucking Travis Scott. You're not listening to a lot of these stupid fucks out here who, just because they can string some fucking words together, oh, we can make an album. Fuck off.
Apparently, Jay's getting a little pussy too. Look over your left ear.
Oh yes, that's my cat.
Want another
Lenny.
one?
No, Lenny's a handful.
I just kicked mine out of the house for the last time. I'm not gonna let it back in again. That's it, done. Pissed on the floor again. I was like, "Fuck you, you little shit! You got a litter box. You want to be outside? That's your new home. Is outside. You are not. That's the third time in a week. Done." It's not even my cat, really. It was the girlfriend's cat. It came around. We need a cat. Who's we? Girlfriend's gone. The cat's still here. Fuck you. You both pissed on me, and I got rid of her. Now I get rid of you, too. What's the cat's name?
Lenny.
And what you gonna do? It doesn't matter what your name is.
Ah, fuck that up. Okay.
Yeah. Not quick enough.
I hit the wrong button, too.
But, I mean, I don't know. It makes it hard to watch when it's shit like that. Am I going to watch SummerSlam? Yes. When she's on, am I going to fucking mute the volume? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Look at Clown. 3 kittens that were feral and now indoor babies.
So they were just like him.
That's an odd number, though. You need a 4th one. So give me your address. He'll probably still be breathing by the time the box arrives, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me prime time if she does come out to have been at the freak offs and shit. It really, and Travis Scott too, honestly. So they're just that type of people.
She might be part of it. I think she was the hostess. The ringleader, if you will.
But
damn, JH, how is that even possible? How can you hate music?
I gotta have some music.
I was gonna say I've never seen or heard anyone just say they hate music. They might hate rap or they might hate country but you don't like any music?
That's
yeah,
right.
2 nights of
2 nights
SummerSlam. Yeah, no shit. Let's see if she can run them off on the first night. By the way, SmackDown, I'm sure most of you know, and if you're not looking for spoilers, then you might want to, turn off the audio for a little while here. Took place at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here, but was not watched in the U.S. until it comes on a little while from now. And apparently the European Netflix group didn't get to watch the first half hour either because there was a massive power outage at the building. So they were unable to get the stream out for the first 30 minutes. So those of you watching the first 30 minutes tonight, you'll see what they never saw on Netflix.
Yeah, it's actually on right now. So.
Oh, there you go. So there was supposed to be a somewhat entertaining promo where Punk comes out in the old John Cena outfit from when he was the gangster. And
I was just watching that while I was waiting on you.
Oh, did they already do it? I'm recording it. I'll watch it later when I can fast forward through 90% of it.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, they said he flubbed a line or two or something like that. I'll just watch it after. Apparently, the fans didn't take very well to him at all. Had something to do with suck that blood-covered dick thing he said to The Miz a while back when he was in AEW still. apparently came out and apologized to the audience. I don't think that was on camera, though. I think it was during a commercial break or something to that effect. There was also a moment where he was, I guess, walking backstage somewhere, and a little kid tried to come up and maybe get a selfie. And with a crop, that's the thing. By the way, if you're ever going to be somewhere and something happens and you want to film it with your camera, please hold it like this. This is how you get a fucking full screen in, okay? These people do this shit, and it's so fucking narrow, and you're missing half the shit that's... All these people that record fights that happen in the schools and fights that happen in the bars and turn it sideways, motherfucker. I want to see the whole thing. Nothing worse than the news.
Randy walking in.
Yeah, I didn't even see Randy to be. Oh yeah, Randy was ahead of him. That's right. And basically, it was a security guy's hand that kind of pushed the kid back. But because it's so cropped, you don't see that. It looks like Punk pushed the kid back, but he didn't. Thankfully, somebody else had a better angle. There is a new champion tonight.
Really?
I don't have cable or Netflix. Clown boy, tell you what. Still getting his smoke signal news. People film the wrong way so they can make shorts. You can still edit it to make it a short.
Yeah.
That's what I do all the time with my shorts. I just cut them down and set the parameters in reverse. Instead of 1820 by night or 18, the fuck it is, 1810 by 1920, whatever the fuck. You just reverse the numbers. Kevin Davis. I'm starting to hate classic rock because most bands can't stand Trump. I've definitely been highly disappointed, if not disgusted, by a lot of my former favorite musicians. I won't lie. The fact that Bruce Springsteen is a dick shocks me.
Yeah. And
I really just can't enjoy his music anymore. If he comes on, there's some songs that have a lot. Yeah, I just watching some old 86 WWF Saturday morning crap, and Wyndham and Rotundo come out, and it's Born in the USA is playing. And that was the only reason I knew who Bruce Springsteen was at the time. I'd heard his name, but I never listened to his music. And then because that was their theme song, I bought the album. And then after that, I became a fan. But that memory is now tarnished because Bruce is a dick.
Yeah, and some of the shit he said recently makes you want to wonder, did he really write Born in the USA? Or, how can you have that mentality to write that song and then turn around and say the shit you've been saying? It's kind of stupid.
Am I having image problems with 2K25? What do you mean?
I think because he said earlier that characters, like the things that you, like, say you put something on a shirt, it'll be on their face when they go to wrestle. Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't happened yet that I've noticed, and I've done one show since the patch, maybe 2 shows since the patch. Don't know.
I know.
Haven't even heard about it, though. Usually that'd be all over the internet.
I know.
I will tell you, Techland, for those of you that are in the gaming world, their biggest claim to fame is Dying Light, and now Dying Light 2. Dying Light is received mostly by anyone who likes the genre as the greatest zombie game of all time, okay? And it really, really is good. So that when part 2 was coming out, and now it's on PS4 and then PS5, and you're going to have much better graphics now because 10 years has gone by, the story sucks. I mean, I can't cover for that. But the game is really fun. There's a lot you can do in it. So many ways of traversing. They've got the best parkour in the world. So you can overlook the fact that the acting and the story is just bleh. Well, they came up with a new patch yesterday for the summer. They've got a couple of new challenges coming up. They also revamped the original Dying Light and basically upped the graphics pretty considerably. Put a lot more detail into everything. And looking at side-by-side comparisons, you can really see the difference. Also up the soundtrack on that a little bit. Well, anyway, I've been playing a lot of Dying Light 2 lately because they're getting ready to launch what was going to be a DLC for the game, but then it got so big they're just going to make it its own game, and it's coming out in about 2 months, which is called The Beast, which goes back to the first game's main character. And I figure I better start playing again because it had been about a year since I picked up the game, and get familiar with the controls and be ready when it launches and all that. So here comes this update patch 2 days ago, and I get on it yesterday after we got done with the stream, and some of my fucking weapons is all gone. And they're the ones I paid for. They had a limited run of Walking Dead where you could basically get, for those that are Walking Dead fans, you'll know, you can get Rick's police uniform. You can get, it was all part of the package. So you got that. You got Negan's bat, Lucille. You got Negan's knife. Yeah, you got Negan's knife. You got Michonne's katana. And then also they had because one of the ways you parkour throughout the city is they have this paraglider that attaches to your back, and you could jump off buildings and like glide for a limited period of time. And this one had the Walking Dead logo on the back of it. Now it's first person, so you never get to see that shit. But if you're playing with buddies or people you meet online,
right, they would see it.
Yeah. So that all said, all that shit disappeared, and I'm like, what the fuck? I use that katana all the damn time. That's my toy. So I'm looking on Reddit, and a lot of people having this problem, and not just that DLC, a few others. And then I go through my prompts on my PlayStation main page there, where you restore the licenses, and then you go to the different purchases that you've made in the game's history, and you can reinstall them, which I did. And once I reinstall them, I got the paraglider, I got Rick's uniform, but I still don't have the katana, I still don't have Lucille, and I still don't have Negan's knife. And I'm like, what the motherfuck? So a lot of people, but you're not getting anything out of Techland yet, other than it's a known issue at this point.
Right.
A lot of people are on Reddit saying that they're going to fix it, that they're working on it. And again, their track record is that they do try to fix mistakes. But this is a big fucking mistake.
Especially if you paid specifically for those items.
Hello. And you can't even if you wanted to, you can't buy them anymore. That was a limited run. It's gone. It's not even an option.
Right.
So one of the things on the Reddit post, it was saying a lot of times what you can do, what some people have had luck doing, is you go to one of the vendors in the game, and then the blueprint is there and you can get it back. So I tried that. Nope, no blueprint. Or if you go to your stash, went to the stash. Nope, it's not there neither. And the fact that the other two items are there just makes it all the more weird. But that's what I'm dealing with when it comes to broken shit. So I don't know. I didn't have any pictures on my faces or anything. Everything seems to be still okay.
Yeah, I had that issue with 24 for a while, and then I got it corrected. But yeah, that's what I figured it was.
JH, you playing the Dying Light 2, are you? Send me a friend. I think we're already connected on PlayStation Network, if I'm not mistaken. When we get done with this, I'm going to jump on for a little while. So if you want, yeah, we'll definitely get together. I got a couple of different missions that I didn't bother getting around to yet.
Wow.
Damn, Windows 7. That's called a collector's item right there, my friend. Need to hang on to that. Hell, I've still got my MacBook Safari. I think that was the one, was Safari. I know they usually do animals like leopard or whatever, but I mean, this is from whatever animal they were in 2004 is the one I got.
It wouldn't let you move the image at all?
That was the old problem that they finally got around to fixing. They had, like, if anything was, especially with faces, and he was mentioning faces, So if somebody had put a facial tattoo or something like that, and let's say you liked the created wrestler, but you didn't like part of what they did with the face, it wasn't even an option where you could see it to delete it. It's just, it would be like you went there with a brand new created wrestler and all the slots haven't even been filled for the face in particular. But then they had fixed it where you could go in and change it, unless they fucked it up and it's back to where it was before, which wouldn't surprise me. How many times did Hogan lose his hair?
Right.
Every patch he'd lose it, next patch he'd give it back. Lose it, here's another one, give it back.
I still got the picture of the milk carton, so.
I forgot about that one. Shit.
Yeah.
History. It's pissing him off now. Now? It took you this long? That game's been pissing us off a long time. And they are getting roasted again, 2K. I mean, nothing new for them at this point, man. They don't even give a shit. They don't pretend to give a shit. But, man, they're getting roasted again with the WWE's WrestleMania pack and the fact that you got the arenas out. You're not even acknowledging the fact that all the other content is not ready. You're not giving a date. You're not. Here's the thing, dudes. Here's my free advice. Just tell us what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
That's all. Now, the bullshit story going on with Travis Scott and that they're having trouble with licensing. And no, you'd have had that long before you'd ever would have committed him to the game. Y'all realize it's going to be hard to put a baby killer on the game. Should have done a little homework. But if you would just tell us what the fucking problem is, it's like, listen, we thought we'd have it ready. We should have it ready within 45 days, but probably a little soon. You know, give yourself a cushion of fuck up time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, whatever. At least they're talking to us. And Techland was normally very good at that, but I have not been able to locate shit from them acknowledging what happened 2 days ago. That lingers on today. Two-Point Hospital. Never heard of that.
I don't know that one either.
Miracle in the House. Try to control my narrative, not to go off 2K. Ready to raise hell like Vince Nash.
That's it. Yeah. You got to. I did. How many times did you see me post last year with 2K24? Motherfuckers, this game, that game, you're not getting my money next year. Fuck off. Fuck 2K. Fuck all this.
I got tired of doing it, man. I think the last time I wrote anything to them, I'm pretty sure it was something like...
and what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Even if they don't listen,
rip into them.
Feel better yeah, it'll at least make you feel better. Get it off your chest.
Clown's starting to sound a lot like Travis Scott.
Fuck him up.
Give him the middle finger. Oh, brother. JH, what are you playing the game on? What system? Oh, it's got to be Sony, because I'm 90% sure that we connected as friends on Sony. I have my notifications generally turned off on that because they kept popping up on the screen all the damn time. Yeah, all right, we're both on
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, if you want to go on in a little while, just send me a message or something. I have never played part 2 with other people. I actually tried to earlier this week. I opened it up where I can receive invitations. Like if you're in the game, the way it works for those that don't play it, if you're having, let's say, a particular problem with a chapter, or you're just like in a massive horde of zombies and don't know what the fuck to do, you can put out a distress signal, and then it goes out to any other users that left their channel open to receive them. So if you don't want to have that, then you can turn it off and just play yourself. But if you don't mind getting signals when people need help, or if you want to send a signal out for help, then you have that setting as well. So I've just recently put that setting on, and both times where I tried to actually connect to somebody else to help them, it just crashed the game. And apparently that's kind of the way it works.
Okay.
Sounds like their online features are not really doing very well. Apparently one of the recent patches, or this patch perhaps, one of the things it addressed was the fact that your friends are online, but it shows you that they're not.
I swear to
We're
God,
going to fix the whole problem with the game crashing in multiplayer. We're not going to let you know your friends are on, so there is no multiplayer.
There you go.
You guys fixed it, all right.
These game companies anymore, I swear to God.
We tried to play part 2 in the beginning. I don't even remember trying to play with anyone on part 2. Part 1, me and my buddy Dan played a lot. He's the one that actually got me into that game. Everything pro wrestling in the house. Well, it's everything pro wrestling and video gaming in general right now. So, and Cardi B. You missed the Cardi B part. Get that wet pussy.
Didn't miss much.
No, I didn't miss much. Didn't miss much. What did you miss?
And gushy. Beat it up, baby, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this cookie right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a giggle.
Swipe your nose
Put
like
this
a credit
cookie
card.
in your
Jesus
face. Swipe
Christ.
your nose like a credit. What in the WWE? You guys are really, really unbelievable. I just don't get you, man. I just don't get you. You will hitch your wagon to any piece of scummy trash that comes your way with the hope of getting an extra 100,000 people.
That doesn't surprise me. Big JH is like, Kendall Jenner's in that video. That doesn't surprise me at all.
I wouldn't even know what she looked like.
I'm getting the same way, everything, because it's like I'll play 24 and it's just, I don't know. Right now, wrestling is really iffy for me. It's like if I miss something where it used to really bother me anymore, it's just like, did I really miss that much? I don't know.
I'll be watching, like I said, I'll watch an old Saturday show from 1986 on YouTube, and I'll just hit play and watch the whole thing. And 90% of that was jobbers.
Right.
But I'll still watch it all the way through. The shit I'm recording tonight, I'll watch maybe 25 minutes of it total. Oh, and by the way, in case you forgot, tonight is the last night. No more 3-hour SmackDown.
Oh, wow.
There are miracles left in the world. Cardi B is Diddy's side piece freak off. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's probably, she might be enough for him to go, girl, you got a problem. You know you're a special kind of skanky whore when P. Diddy looks at you, go, I ain't touching that.
I'm just wondering who's next. Who's next?
So if they say your show isn't episodic, you can say you talked about the Kardashians yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, this is 3 days in a row that we are dealing with WWE and their images.
Yeah.
Or their image issues more accurately. So, yeah, it's definitely a running thing, and it was never an intent. By the way, we also talked yesterday a little bit about the fact that why I'm doing more WrestleChats this week is this is a free week for me where I can still have my background up and make it look nice the way it does, as opposed to those last few we did, a month or so ago where it was just a black background and that's all you get for free anymore. There is a way for me to use OBS and still have the two of us on screen. Apparently, it requires
Really?
us using. Well, it ain't easy.
Well, of course, it's not going to be easy.
I'm not even sure how much it'll work. I told you what happened when I tried to put that sink into the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got a funny feeling this is going to be another bathroom sink situation. But there's this guy who does a lot of OBS videos, and he's really good at, dumbing it down for people like me and making it simple. So that all said, we'll have to try it after this week's running out. We'll have to figure it out. It's definitely going to take like an extra 15 minutes, probably, at least unless it becomes easier over time. But we'll figure at least 10 to 15 minutes just to be set up to do it. But then it should work through OBS.
Okay.
At which time I'll say, fuck you altogether to StreamYard. And the good news with OBS is I'm not going to have to worry about my audio. Is it playing this clip I'm playing or is it not playing the clip? Yeah, so that's another thing that'll be a thing of the past.
So did you download that today to be able to play that then?
What are we talking about?
The video.
Yeah, this is straight onto StreamYard. Which is what I ended up having to do yesterday when there was no audio.
Right.
But I didn't used to have to do that. That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Like when we would do the at the movies thing.
Yeah.
I'm just putting the DVD in the disk drive and playing it on the computer, and you're listening. If this is supposed to be a format for businesses to conduct large symposiums or whatever and have a group meeting or whatever, and you have a video, hey, here's a commercial spot we're thinking of running. What good is it if they can't hear it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't know.
Nothing can be simple.
I don't know. Put this cookie on your face and swipe your nose like a credit card. Sound pretty simple to me. I've been watching old school wrestling. Yeah,
only if you got that Triple H nose.
Yeah, it means you have an extended credit limit. I love you, clown.
Hey, I didn't think that tag match yesterday was going to ever end. Jesus Christ.
You and me both. I'm like, and there's a reason I only booked 3 matches. I knew that motherfucker was going to go long. You got too many bodies in there, man. I almost thought about putting knockouts as an option, but then it might have only gone 5 seconds. Who knows, right?
Right, yeah.
But I didn't expect it to go as long as it did, but it definitely ran long.
I was like, Jesus Christ. The game
got
has
certain
just
things
as
I
many.
got to get in before the 6th.
The game has just as many near fucking falls as real wrestling does. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, all the false finishes you can count.
Yeah.
And, clown, to your point, I think the reason I still do, because I kind of was done last year. I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'll come and do WrestleChat and that kind of shit, but I wasn't going to do any more of the story. But, man, it's like, other than the Bloodline, which, let's be honest, that was the greatest friggin' story in decades.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's nothing out there for me. I tried watching TNA last night. Those stories are nothing. They're garbage. They're doing a little something with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. All right. Yeah. It's just so obvious. If you're not watching or not subscribed to the TNA YouTube channel, Tessa, I'm sure this is an attempt on their part to try and endear her to the fans in any way they can, has been doing these special behind the scenes videos lately. And the one that I happened to see this morning when I was getting ready to go to work was the crew breaking down after the TV tapings are done. And she's kind of talking how things go and this and that, and then interviewing different people from the crew that travel all around the United States with the ring and the truck. And Daniel Spencer, who's also a referee, is in charge of the whole ring apparatus and all that. That's his thing. That's his baby.
Right.
So that one time when they were here a couple of years ago and I got to help put the ring up, he was the guy directing us, telling us how to do everything, and really super cool. So anyway, and she's really just coming across as a nice girl. She is. Listen, guys, imagine if we all had our private conversations put out for the world to see.
Mm-hmm.
We'd all be friggin' ostracized. None of us. Yeah, one thing I will never normally quote Whoopi Goldberg, but this was something in the 80s before she became a complete douchebag. And the quote was very simple. Let he who is without the dog shit on his shoe take the first step on the white carpet.
Right.
So I don't want the fact that these idiots at TNA, and that's one of the reasons why I don't even want to watch it half the time. We have given second chances to so many wrestlers over the years who have fucked up. And in many cases, they've redeemed themselves. Legitimately.
Right.
So the thought that you're not going to give this girl a chance after she paid. She didn't get to wrestle for almost 3 years in the United States at all.
Right.
And again, her own doing. But when is enough enough? Give the girl a break. And this, she's a racist chance? That's bullshit. Because there ain't nobody out there that's going to tell me they never said the N-word. That's just the reality of it. And she's in a locker room environment where I could say it was shit. When I was playing hockey, the words we threw around at each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's right. Maybe she was a bully. Shawn Michaels was the biggest prick in the world. He admits it.
Yeah.
And what a turnaround, because he redeemed himself. It took him a while, but he did it. Why is she not being afforded the same opportunity? Now, she's handling it well. Every time they start the chant, she does the Hulk Hogan thing with the cupping the ear. But
right,
it's that chant that's going to keep her from ever having a shot at the WWE, which is not right.
Right.
Not right. So if you're chanting that kind of thing, better look in the mirror. Better look in the mirror. Even, again, Hogan allegedly, got booed because of this comment he made back at Bubba's house 15 fucking years ago, which I find that hard to believe because he's come back several times since then, didn't get booed. But even then, he was in a private area. Well, supposed to have been a private area, minding his own business, fucking his friend's wife. And, it's just, again, let's put cameras in everyone's bedroom. In everyone's living room, everyone's bathroom. Let's hear what everyone has to say when the doors are closed. For everyone that chants she's a racist, I hope to God their worst moment is captured on social media for everyone and their employers to see. Then you can understand that a moment doesn't determine you. Even a bad year. She was in her 20s. Yeah. She was a dumb kid. In your 20s, you're still a kid. You might be legally an adult, but mentally you're a kid. For those of us in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, we all know that's true. So she did stupid shit. She said stupid shit. She might have bullied, although I find it hard to see her as a bully. I mean, she's in good shape and all that, but she's not exactly Nia Jax.
Yeah, but there's different ways to be a bully. You don't have to be a bully physically. You can, how you talk to people and stuff like that. Because I've been accused of that. It's just, I'm not a bully. I just don't censor myself because I don't give a shit. I don't care. That's why on my Twitter page, the first thing you see pinned is, if you get offended by this, who cares? Go fuck yourself. I don't care. But unfortunately, when you're a celebrity like that, yes, nowadays, everything comes back to haunt you.
JH has been sleeping so much lately. Didn't watch SmackDown. I never watch it anymore until the next day. I won't sit through commercials, and I won't sit through bad wrestling. So out of 3 hours, like I said, I might watch 20 minutes. And the vast majority of it is the women because that's the stuff that's been good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think watching Raw, when I watch Raw anymore, I'll be doing stuff on my phone, and it has to really catch my attention to make me turn and actually watch it. And that's very rare anymore. So it's basically on there for background noise.
Clown thinks he can walk all over. Thinks he can walk all over the white carpet. I guarantee you, buddy. We all sin. Hulkamania ran wild on Heather Clem.
Brother.
From the small amount of that video I actually watched, because it was that part where he was saying all these things, wasn't necessarily what you might have. Granted, I mean, at that point in his career, this was post NWO, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he probably wasn't at his Hulka best. Hulkamania wasn't running wild that night, brother.
Should have been taking your blue vitamins.
Get the Flintstones with the blues. The 24-inch python. Ain't no 24-inch python, buddy. Not at this point in time.
It's a little garter snake.
There are passive-aggressive bullies as well. There are. And again, she may have been a complete cunt. But give someone a chance to redeem themselves is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I've heard nothing negative about her in the locker room. And you know, the friggin' internet being what it is now. If she was being that person again, and she also knows this is her last chance.
Right. We discussed this when she first went back.
Yep.
And, you know, I was of the opinion it's going to be a rough ride for her because people are going to keep bringing it up. But to your credit, you said if she can last and make it the next 3 months, and it's been about that, right? 3-4 months or longer since she's been back. And I haven't heard her anything bad from the TNA locker room or management from them about her. So she's trying. I'll give her that. But
and it's a lot easier to get that information out to the, you can call them the press, I guess, technically. You know, the Denise Salcedos of the world and all these different internet dudes, and not that Mr. 5-Star would ever entertain a conversation about TNA in any way, because that doesn't exist. The only 3 letters that exist in his world are AEW. But I'm just saying, it would have gotten out by now. Somebody would say something. I think she got herself humbled. And needed it. I mean, based on everything that was coming out at that time. But yeah, I just, when I hear people make that chant in particular, it just makes me really upset. Right. So, all right. Well, that covers today's subject matter. Who knows? We might do it again tomorrow. I don't have anything in mind, but then again, they might go get themselves some mass.
Let's see how the Saudi show goes tomorrow. We might
that's true.
Some ammunition for.
That's what, 1:00 start time?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll bounce out of work early without a problem. That's the best thing about my girlfriend.
It at work.
That's the best thing about my girlfriend leaving the job. Now I don't have to sit there prisoner anymore, because I can always leave when my job is done and just check in and make sure the children are behaving. But she was not salaried, she was hourly. So if she had to sit there until 4:30, I couldn't just leave at 12, say bye. So now that she's gone, I got a lot of freedom. Freedom. All right. Well, but that's all, folks. We'll see how tomorrow goes. We'll probably jump on and talk about it. I don't know if they're gonna. They never make history. That's one of the things we talked about the other day. They never make history when it comes to these events. The Saudi shows are known for the worst of the worst. They're known for Goldberg and Undertaker stinking up the joint. They're known for Triple H tearing his pec. They're not known because of the Macho Man Ricky Steamboat 5-star classic.
Right.
Because they've never had one.
I think the best match I can think of that they've had recently over there was the Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. That was actually a good match. Anything to write home about? Not really, but it's better than the normal that was usually put on.
Well,
and that was because of Logan Paul.
If you're going to use the low bar method, that's not really fair, I don't think. I mean, you got to either it's a good match or it's not. And it couldn't really be a good match because we said going into it, we knew who was going to win. There was no possibility. Like, CM Punk is not going to become the world champion tomorrow. Period.
Right.
We all know it's not going to happen. Saudi knows it's not going to happen. They paid $50 million to not watch it happen. Joke's
Cody's
on
gonna
them.
Win. Jade's going to win. Jacob's going to win. And what's the other match? There's one more.
Cody and RKO.
I said Cody. Oh, I think Karrion Kross is going to win with Sammy.
Yeah, possibly. There's been a lot of talk. Such bullshit. It is what it is. Guarantee you tomorrow you'll see this. A lot of talk about Karrion Kross. The reason they haven't been pushing him, the reason they're not behind him is he won't take any bumps. If you don't put him in the ring, how can he? Do you know he's only had 2 TV matches in the last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hard to bump when you're not on the show.
Well, 2 TV matches on SmackDown and Raw. That type. But he has been on Main Event, and because I just watched a video.
Nobody watches Main Event.
I understand, but he's had matches on there, and in every match that they've showed, he was taking back bumps. He took back bumps with AJ Styles. He took back bumps with who was the second person he wrestled after AJ?
I wouldn't even know. I don't watch that show. I didn't until very recently. I didn't know it was still on the air.
Yeah,
or on video of some sort.
Yeah, it's on Peacock actually. So,
well,
yeah. I mean, I first heard that and I'm like, that's bullshit. Because I watched the AJ match on SmackDown and AJ came off with that fucking clothesline he does off the top rope for that elbow, and Karrion took that back bump and flipped and shit, and I don't know. So,
well, I just guarantee you tomorrow he's going to take the most obnoxious back bump, like when Shawn Michaels sold for Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam.
Right? Yeah.
He is going to absolutely rub it in everyone's face. He is going to take the most exaggerated back bump tomorrow. So watch for that, and then remember you heard it here first.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll probably come on tomorrow and talk about it, especially because it's a 1 o'clock start, so it'll be around 5 o'clock, and it won't be late or anything, and we can still do it. All right. Well, you know what that means.
Dun, dun, dun.
Say goodnight, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, everybody. We'll catch you up next time, probably tomorrow, and we'll do a little bit more of this stuff here. It's called WrestleChat. Until then, see you ringside. JH, hit me up on PlayStation. Actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man. I would say, like, for me, like the best ones, I would say, are like the ones where they try to get a certain like time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody.